person talking about love, thine brother is the preacher. And it seems nobody's interested in learning but the teacher.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Chalk Talk. We're here today at Interurban Athletics in Kent, Washington. We're sitting here with some random people we just met, and hope you all have a good time. All right, thanks. So why don't we just go ahead and
met him on the bus.
Yeah. So go ahead and introduce yourselves just real quick. Just we'll start down on that end.
This end, Kate Hansen, aka Quad Monster. The end.
The end?
The end.
It looks like I'm up. Alan Velasco, Interurban Athletics here in Kent, Washington, and glad to have you guys here. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah.
Grant Higa, the Higa Monster. Work out here at Interurban Athletics, known Alan for a long time, and yeah, it's good. It's good to be here. Glad that Chalk Talk's here in Washington, man.
We're sitting here today at Interurban Athletics, and the question that we're kind of talking about is just that when you're at a more functional gym, that, you know, more explosive kind of, like, I guess you could say it's the general format of how you do things here is a little bit different than like a commercial gym. Is that right, Alan?
Correct.
The way it's kind of laid out and stuff. And so my question is just kind of for both of you, as an athlete and as like a gym owner and all this stuff, and as a coach and things, what's it like having the kind of gym that you have, having strongman here? Is it a good environment for it? Is it bad? What are the pluses, the negatives? Just kind of just what you think about it.
Well, let me speak first. It's first of all, it's to have Grant in any facility. The previous gym that we were at, it was a CrossFit gym, and like you mentioned, this isn't a CrossFit gym, but it's definitely a functional training gym. You can just speak to the person that Grant is. You've worked with him in the past, and you know how motivating he is. So that just alone brings in that extra dynamic in your gym. I mean, everybody knows in the morning when he comes in, they're like, I'm going to bring my A game because Grant is here. One of the girls that work out here, Rachel, whenever Grant comes by, goes, come on, baby, you can do it. She picks up that bar and fucking she goes. So, you know, it's just, it speaks volumes to Grant and how he's just a general great attitude to have around the gym. I mean, you can't say no. If somebody says, hey, this is Grant, and saying, hey, I want to train at your gym, by all means, let's make it happen. It's not the matter of, you know, I don't know if this is going to work. It's I'm going to make it work because it's for Grant. And like he said prior, I've known him for quite some time, and it's just brother from another mother. It's, you know, we got each other's back. So it's a good thing. Yeah. Regardless of what kind of training you're doing. He's got me doing yoke. He's got me doing log presses. He's got me doing
pulling that damn chain.
You know, my 150-pound frame. And on the flip side, he's mentioned in the past that you know, that the explosive training has helped him in his strongman and powerlifting. So it's a great marriage. The two environment just work out really well. I don't think it's a negative thing at all. It's all positive. I don't see any negativity at all. You may want to speak to that.
Yeah, for sure. I agree that being here has helped me improve as a lifter. You know, it's training strongman, as you know, it's not common. It's not easy to find a place to train like that because you can't like store stuff at a commercial gym and think that it's going to be fine. It's probably going to go missing, or some idiot's going to try and pull on it thinking that I can do it, and then he drops a stone on his toe, or you know, yanks his back out of stuff like that. But the one thing I think that has helped me improve as a strongman and powerlifter, being with Alan and stuff, is that the fitness level is improved because, you know, I might not do like 100 chin-ups or whatever WOD they do and stuff, but pushing that barrier where you think that, oh man, I don't know if I can even do this, but then when you get over that barrier, has helped me to push myself, you know. Because I know I'm a big guy and, you know, whatever, I'm all that stuff, but I feel like I'm a pretty fit and mobile guy, you know. And that camaraderie and that family is what's important to me, because they support us, you know. They come to the Strongest Apple contest that I put on, and they're very supportive, and if they want to try some of the strongman equipment, hell yeah, let's do it. It's all about fitness, and we're connected no matter what with the game of the iron. You know, like whether it's Olympic lifting, whether it's functional fitness or strongman or powerlifting, we're still together under one roof, and that's what's awesome about lifting here. You know.
Well, I think that's a really good point that you both bring up, and I think that kind of, I guess you could call it the dynamic training, that CrossFit-esque style training and stuff, gets a bad rap by these more, I guess you could say, the traditional people. And the analogy I like to think about, I was just talking about this just the other day, I think about it as like Bruce Lee. When Bruce Lee first came on the scene and started like going to, all these martial arts tournaments and stuff, all the traditionalists were like, no, that's dumb. You shouldn't do that. That's retarded and stuff like that. And then it was, no, look at it where we're at now. It's the mixed martial arts. It's, whatever technique works, go with how it works. And I kind of see that as the analogy for kind of how people feel towards that more dynamic, that more, explosive training, that, being ready for any situation. I think that, it gets a bad rap because of the lack of proper coaching and the lack of, like, proper understanding of how to do your programming, how to lay it all out. And I think that it doesn't matter, like, it's like you guys were saying, we're all in the same kind of game. We're all doing the same thing. We're all working towards the same fitness goals. We're all trying to just improve ourselves. And I think that's just the bottom line is where it's all at. Is it's if you come into it with a positive attitude, it's all about that community. It's all about being there to support each other, being there to just doesn't matter what they're doing. Doesn't matter if somebody's going for max burpees, somebody's going for low crawls all over the place. It doesn't matter what's going on as long as you're there for supporting each other. I think that's what the most important part is.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah, I agree, man. And that's what's it's been good for both of us because. I feel like just adding more dynamic warm-ups, more mobility stuff, is important. And then, you saw him today. He only weighs $150, but he yanked on the chain, so there's not too many.
Running around with that chain.
Yeah, there's not too many people that can do that.
Yeah.
So
You should see him climb that rope.
Can you climb the rope?
We're working on it. Katie's out.
Yeah, girl.
See this shit.
Well, that is a good point, though. I came from that kind of more, I guess you could say, that traditional kind of background, more that powerlifting, that I'm going to be in the gym for 8 hours, doing this long, drawn-out training, long rest periods. Let's just sit around and bullshit for, an hour and a half, and then, okay, I'll do another set, which I think that, I still do that sometimes when I'm doing like a strongman day to simulate an actual strongman contest.
Sure. Yeah.
But I do a lot more now where my training sessions are like at most like an hour long.
Yep.
And I mean, a lot of times it's like I'll be in the gym for like 30 minutes and I'm done.
Yeah.
And that's all I need to do. And it's like I've done workouts that have taken me like literally 8 minutes, and I'll just lay down on the ground like I'm not moving. I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't do anything.
Yeah,
and I think it's about that explosive effort. And I think adding that into any kind of training is going to make you a better athlete.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to be able to, do muscle-ups, like strict muscle-ups or anything like that. Or, I'm going to do a handstand walk for 300 meters or something like that. But, still adding in parts of that is going to better your mobility, better you all around as an all-around athlete, and just make you more efficient at everything you're doing.
For sure.
I think you just touched on it. It's just a better, being a better athlete. I mean, you can't say it any better than that. I mean, sure, you can go to a conventional gym and you can see, the aesthetics. That's unfortunately that's my background is a bodybuilding.
How much you used to weigh before?
Oh, dude, my heaviest I was maybe 180,
Can you imagine, dude?
180, 185. But I was lifting maybe 10% more then. I mean, but I couldn't run a mile.
Yeah.
But now, 150, 155 on a good day, and I can lift just as much, and I can sustain the power. So a lot happier and a lot healthier. I had high blood pressure at the time, so it speaks volumes to the kind of training that we do. It's the the higher intensity and mix in with the strongman. I like having that equipment here because you can mix it up. I do the stones, you can do the yoke. It's not your traditional CrossFit by any means, but it's nice to throw that in there just to mix it up.
Well, I think that's a really good point as well, is that mixing it up is what is how you're going to improve. And it's not always. I think people get this whole thing of, well, I'm going to work on my triple unders today, and stuff. And it's not about that. It's about you've got to have that balance of I'm going to go ahead and do triple unders and stuff, but I'm still going to. Okay, today I'm going to go do a heavy yoke.
Yeah.
Today I'm going to do stones. And I think that doing both of that is just going to make you an all-around better athlete.
Easy to get complacent this way.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And then I can see now, too, my kids are, maybe it's kind of off on a tangent, but I can see it now. Grant's kids are getting of that age where, softball is getting more competitive. My kids are that same age, 12 and 10 years old. So, see kids now, it's you train them in a certain way. When I was growing up, it's, gym. You go to the gym and you do your bicep curls and you do your bench. And now we train our kids with more the explosive and being more aware of their surroundings. And that's being athletic. And that's not being strong in one specific sport or another. It's just whatever you're working on, it transfers to whatever sport you play. Maybe softball, soccer, volleyball, basketball. It's just being aware of your surrounding. It's the the plyometrics. It's the ladder drills. It's even we make fun of burpees.
Yeah.
Really, that's so effective.
It is.
Yeah. You're playing soccer. You fall down. You trip. You get back up.
Yeah.
That's the same
Football,
thing.
yeah.
Football, same thing.
I mean, that's
So-
the thing that that's one of the we were kind of joking about it earlier. I do burpees all the time because of the fact that I know it's going to help with my hip explosiveness.
Yeah.
It's going to help my ability to change levels quickly. If I'm running and doing keg loading or sandbag loading, and I'm going to run back and forth, and I'm going to drop down low and then explode up quick.
Yeah.
I've got to be able to move quick. I've got to be able to change levels, change directions in a quick fashion. And I think that doing burpees is a great way to do that without doing a lot of heavy lifting, without doing a lot of things that are just going to beat up my body and are hard on me.
So true.
Well, and I think leaving the powerlifting gym when you left and went to the CrossFit gym, I mean, you've changed as an athlete totally. And then when I followed you over there, I feel like I've changed.
Well, he's like trimmer now than when I first met him.
He's getting
but he's
all-
stronger though.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what
'Cause,
happened
yeah.
to me. I mean, as soon as I started working with him, I just started trimming down, but my strength is going up. I mean, my max squat, we don't test that very often, but I mean, I don't fucking care
You're
about
like
that.
repping things that you were struggling with
right.
before.
Yeah,
I remember when you first.
I feel better and healthier and like lighter on my feet, and like I can do some ninja karate.
There you go.
Yeah.
Watch out now.
But I mean, that is a good point. Like I had that mentality before of weight moves weight.
Yeah.
So the bigger I get, the easier it'll be to do stuff. So it's like I got up to like 320. And it's like, okay, I'm not that much stronger though.
Yeah.
And it was like I can't run a mile.
Yeah.
I can't jump rope. I can't. Oh, you want me to jump? There, I got up like a half an inch. Isn't that a jump?
Can barely take my shirt off.
Yeah. Can somebody come take off my shoes for me?
And that's what I tell everybody too. Like I know I'm a big guy, I ain't got no six pack or whatever,
Yeah.
but I can run a mile, and I'm confident running in a mile, and I got pretty good endurance, and I feel pretty healthy. Of course, it could be better, but I'd rather be a more athletic, strong person than just a guy that just does like 1 rep maxes, but can't run 100 yards, and just gas out or something.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, that was the
That's
thing.
not
like,
healthy at all.
Getting up to 320, it was like the walk up the stairs, and it's like I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
Hauling that weight around all day
not
long.
good, bro.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of I think that's a good transition into kind of just let's go into a little bit of like the history and like your guys' experiences and the kind of like just like kind of where you came from, where you're kind of going, just kind of your experiences, I guess you could say, in your lifting careers, your athletic careers, just kind of where you started from and where you are now.
Let's say I grew up in Hawaii, and I never really played sports. I grew up on a farm, so I was always a big kid, but never played sports. Never really had time because we were working on a farm, all that stuff, I did a little bit of like judo in senior year, wrestling just for like 1 year, but it was a lot of hard work, and I wanted to play, but just didn't play, it was just one of those things, but. In college, I was working for a moving company while in college, and there was a guy named Keith Daniels. He was a driver there at Big Island Moving. Keith was 165, but he would do like bench press competitions and stuff, and he would bench like 325 or something like that, 165. And I was like 220 pounds, maybe 210. I could, barely do 200 pounds and stuff,
Yeah.
So he was like, hey, I just moved out of my parents' house and didn't have a car or anything. I just had a bike, and he was like, hey, if you want to work out with me, we usually work at 7:30. Gym opens at 5 a.m. I'll pick you up at 4:45 a.m. and we'll go to the gym, work out, shower, and get to work and stuff. You know, I'm like, all right, cool. And it laid the foundation down for like, okay, you know, like if you really want to get your workout done, even though it's like at some god awful time in the morning, you're gonna get it done. But learned a lot. You know, it was you know, Keith, here's a smaller guy that was way stronger than me. And it kind of made me hungry to get better, and you know, went through all the stages of different types of training and stuff. And then I ended up doing a push-pull contest at Malka Gym on the Kona side. I was 198, believe it or not.
He was that small.
198.
He was 6 years old.
I still got the trophy in my attic, I think, somewhere. Yeah, 198, and and then did my first powerlifting, which is a push-pull, and then got hooked. And then I did my first USPF Hawaii State Championship. It was on Oahu, so we had to fly to Oahu. Gus Rethwish was the promoter of that show, and you know, Gus was living in Hawaii at the time still, and he put on some solid meets, you know, and it was funny, bro, because this is my first official sanctioned meet where I have to check my equipment and all that stuff. You know, I don't know all this kind of stuff, you know, so, and it's funny because Powerlifting USA used to always have those advertisements for the Inzer suits, right? Z suits. And you saw pictures of Anthony Clark, like, okay, yeah, he's squatting a Z suit, and this is what you should get and stuff, you know? Yeah. So I order a Z suit, right? And I'm putting it on, and I was like, this is the most awful thing in the world. It was like a freaking tourniquet on my leg. Yeah. It was like this far away from my crotch. I couldn't pull it up because I seriously wanted to scream that, how can somebody like actually wear this? You know?
Wait, did you try it on before the meet, or you?
Well, I got it a week before, but it was super hard. You know, yeah. So, but anyway, so I'm doing the meet, right? I did the squats, and I think it was more like extreme pain in my mind rather than focusing on the lift. You know, like, oh my god, I just got to get these squats over with. And I get my squats over it.
Yeah. It's just going to cause so much pain.
Yeah.
That you forget that you're squatting.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just don't want it to stop.
Yeah. So I take the suit off, like, get this off. And I remember I had this, like, scab ring on my legs. That's how tight it was, you know? So getting ready for the bench, and I got my T-shirt and shorts on. And Ski Kwiatkowski, he's a old masters lifter from the Big Island, and he was also a judge. Ski comes up to me and says, hey, where's your singlet? And I was like, what are you talking about? What singlet? And he's like, boy, you got to wear a singlet when you bench. I was just going to go in like shirt and shorts. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? So what do I have? A Z suit.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I got to put the freaking stupid Z suit back on, bro. Oh, that sucked. So I put the Z suit on and had to get through my bench, and of course I got a deadlift with the same freaking thing, dude.
My God.
Oh, it was awful,
So did you
dude.
burn the suit after?
Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, like when you're an up-and-coming lifter and you're reading like, oh, so-and-so's wearing this. That's what you got to order, you know?
That's how you got to do it.
realize that it's not like how many times now you have to actually send it back because they got to retailer it or something like that, you know? But as a you know, a brand new power lifter, I was like, oh my God, you know, this is awful, you know.
Well, that's why you just don't use gear.
Yeah, you know. So, but when I first started, it was with gear and stuff, you know. But then that's when I saw these big guys, you know, like Anthony Harris. You know, Alan's met Anthony. You know, he was a 198er, but he was probably the first guy in Hawaii to pull over 700 pounds regularly. You know, Hawaii was a big bench press state. Everybody liked to bench and stuff. And Tony just, you know, he moved from Alabama to Hawaii, and he just like, oh shit, this guy can deadlift, you know. So everybody had to up their game on that. So then I moved to Oregon. I moved to Corvallis, Oregon. Was there for 3.5 years, and then in '97, the USPF Bench Press National Championship was held at the Portland, Oregon airport, and Gus was the promoter for that, and Old Haugen, who you know. Yeah. Old Haugen at the time was the area director for 24-Hour Fitness in the state of Hawaii, and he had revived basically powerlifting back in Hawaii and was bringing up a team to Oregon. And so, of course, I'm going to go drive up from Corvallis to Portland and support the Hawaiians.
Right.
And Old was saying that, hey, I'm going to put on this strongman contest next year. If you want to come down, I'll waive your entry fee if you want to come down. It was like $100 entry fee. I'm like, yeah, cool, And he's like, yeah, it's just some of the local guys and stuff like that. So I'm like, cool. So my wife put together a little fundraiser. I got my round trip sponsored to go to Hawaii.
Nice.
And then I find out that Magnus Vermagnuson is there.
Nice.
Mark Philippi is there.
Just some of the
guys.
local guys.
Yeah, like
Just the little guys.
wait, I thought this was just like a local Hawaii strongman contest, This is guys I see on ESPN, they were on the Prim Nevada, 97 World's Strongest Man and stuff, Reagan Vagadol from the Faroe Islands was there. And I was like, holy cow, dude, this is no joke, But I was like, all right, we're here, and it was at near the Waikiki show. It was at a Kodak Hula Theater. Big, huge production. It was actually shown on ESPN for a bit, but I was serious. That was my first strongman contest, and I thought I was pretty strong as a 242-pound lifter, and got humbled real quick, dude. We had farmer's walk at 220 pounds. I barely got 18 feet.
Oh, wow.
Barely, yeah. The press event, we had 196-pound keg press for reps. I think I only got one, maybe one, yeah. It was very, very humbling. But also what kind of got me started into strongman was that this is different. This is different from three lifts and powerlifting and stuff,
And every contest
Yeah.
is different.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Different
Yeah. We had a lava rock loading contest. We
Oh,
had
that's
just
cool.
5 different field rocks, lava rocks. We had a load on a flatbed truck. It was just,
That's cool.
it was cool. It was
Yeah.
wild.
Wild
And-
Yeah.
shape
Odd,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and they had
Scratch.
cameramen there and everything. Old really revived powerlifting and strongman contests in Hawaii, and that's ever since then. That's why I've been doing a strongman since '92 because of that.
And because you don't want to wear those fancy suits.
Yeah, that's why I left Raw now. But yeah, that's how I got started. I mean, rude awakening into my first state powerlifting contest. And actually a rude awakening as my first strongman contest. It was the Beauty and the Beast World Strongman Challenge. And there were some bangers there. I mean, Magnus Ver was there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was wild to see Magnus Ver because you probably heard it before, but you can learn a lot being at a contest. I feel like I'm pretty good with medleys, like I said before. And I was flying through the lava rock loading. That was my best event, I think. I think I finished 5th overall on that. And Magnus, when he went up, it was cool. He blew through it, and I think he won it, but he explained after, he said, you run to it laterally. You run side to side like an infielder in baseball. You don't run around it and then grab the rock and go to it. You run to the side of it, grab it, and then go. Because if there's 5 rocks, that's basically 5 steps less you have to take.
Right.
That could be 5 to 6 seconds on your time. And it makes total sense, yeah.
Side shuffling instead
Side
of
shuffling, yeah.
turning and running.
Yeah,
and
if
turning.
this is
Yeah.
this is our rocks. This is a rock. I don't run behind here and grab it and pick it up and go
Around.
that way. I just grab, I run, grab here, then run forward, but then it's kind of like a lateral, which makes sense,
Right.
But yeah, that's how I got started, man. And fortunate to be still doing some, and I'm 44, will be 45, but I feel healthy, no major injuries, and glad for that.
Nice. Well, Alan.
I guess it's my turn. I come from a big family of females. I have 5 older sisters, and I'm the youngest, and the sister that I followed was 17 years old when I was born. So my mom and my dad knew how to handle girls, but when I come around, I was just full. I was a bundle of energy growing up, and my mom didn't know what to do with me, so she put me in all sorts of sports growing up. I mean, you name it. I did motocross, BMX. I did motocross racing for motorcycle, all sorts of martial arts from the age of 8 till 32. I'm 44 now. Grant and I are the same age. So I've always been active. I was inactive when I left college, when I started my professional career. I went to business school, and I was actually, when I met Grant, maybe about 20 years now, right, Jake? Maybe even longer.
I moved up in '98.
Yeah. I met you right there. I was working a white-collar job. I did finance for a local bank here. Going from playing sports or playing intramural sports or whatever, working out consistently, almost 4 hours a day, kind of like what you were saying, to not working out at all because you're so entrenched in your job and trying to make a career. I ballooned up, and it's one of those holy shit moment. Went to the doctors and blood pressure is through the roof, and my folks were both diabetic, high blood pressure. It was my turn to get whatever they had. So that's kind of when I made a life change, and that's kind of how I am. I get focused on what I'm doing. So I started working out, got back into the gym. And just like any guy out there looking for a gym, in CrossFit or strongman, it wasn't really on my radar. I just want to get strong. So you go to a Globo gym.
Right.
I got my NACM, ACE certification. I started training folks too. But it was more a bodybuilding. I was 185. I looked fit because I worked out a lot. But like we were talking about earlier, I lost all my athleticism.
Right.
And up until maybe, what year was that? 8 years ago, maybe? I don't recall. Maybe longer than that. Maybe 9 years ago, I was working at LA or 24 Hour Fitness, and a friend of mine was going, "Hey, we're doing this P90X." Wow, let's give this a shot. And I'm like, dude, I work out 6 days a week for 4 hours at a time. I can do this shit, whatever. So I went and tried it, and I was gassed. And then one of the guys that was doing this, he's going, "Hey, have you heard this thing, CrossFit?" I'm like, "Well, I can do CrossFit." The first workout we did was, I don't remember the name of this workout, but it had the run, the kettlebell swings, and the pull-ups. It was 3 rounds of 400-meter run, 21 kettlebell swings, and 12 pull-ups for 3 rounds. I finished it last. I mean, mind you, aesthetically, I looked the most fittest out of all of them. I was the last one to finish. I barely finished. On my way home, I threw up twice. Just because I'm sick in the head, I was sold.
Yeah.
Like, that sucked. Now I want to do it.
I want to be faster next time.
So right away, I think we started training at somebody's garage, and have a donut.
Donut break.
Well, you talking about fitness, I'm gonna get a donut.
It's donut time. As you're
It's mandatory. We started out working at somebody's garage, and at the time,
pass one down that way.
pass it down.
I don't need another one. I just ate one here.
I ate one too.
Right there.
At the time, there was really no resources. It was just there were just a few affiliates at the time. We would follow the CrossFit.com, and we would just do whatever workout was posted on there. To say the least, and not to disrespect anyone, our equipment was sort of ghetto. I mean, because there was no such thing as bumper plates. I mean, rowers were the wooden rowers. I think Concept 2 was about ready to go under at the time. There was just really no resources, and we just made do to what we had. And then one of the original guys that I started doing CrossFit with, he had a great idea of, hey, let's do this workout. And it was New Year's Day. Let's post it on YouTube. And eventually, all our friends were like, oh, we want to do what you guys are doing. It looked like fun. And then we started working out at his garage. We started up taking collections for people that wanted to work out. Hey, drop in $5, put it on the hat. Before you know it, we were by this time we were all level 1 certified. And then we got an equipment, and then it just grew and grew from his garage. And then his wife pretty much got sick of everybody. Hey, can I use the bathroom? Can I change in the room?
All up in her house.
Yeah, and it was an eye opener to say, hey, you know what? Let's try to find a small enough space and lease it. And so we did. There were 4 of us. This is in Renton. We got an affiliation. We opened up our first box. And it was successful. It was a good run. It was still CrossFit. It was still kind of not very well known. Our affiliate fee at the time was $500. So
Wow.
A year?
A year.
Oh, wow,
This was a
that's
while
way
back.
cheaper.
Yeah, this goes way back. We had a grand opening. Grant came out to our grand opening. But that was kind of the start of the functional fitness, and I was still doing that on a part-time basis. I was still working at the bank, and then there's a real estate collapse, and when that collapsed, I still had a family that I had to feed, and having 4 partners, it was pretty difficult to make a living with 4 partners. So I sold my share of that particular gym and bought into another gym right down the street from here. That gym wasn't a CrossFit gym, and I opened it. I affiliated as well for that gym, and grew that gym from 20 members to about 200 members at its height, and left that gym, and now on my own here since November. So that's kind of the roundabout history of how I got into fitness. It's just being really fit and having the time, and just being active in school sports, and then being inactive, being out of shape, and then I think a lot of people would mirror that. You know, you have all those resources growing up, and then you get to work, and then all of a sudden, now what? You know, now I just have my career, I have my family.
I go to work.
Yeah, and well, that's what's it's so nice that you know, whatever gym you belong to, may it be CrossFit, may it be a non-CrossFit like us, or maybe a 24-hour fitness. I just urge people to be active. It's always so much harder to, when you get out of your fitness and being fit, and then to get back into it. It's always better to just kind of keep at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's putting in the time, and it's so much easier to get out of shape. It's nice to be active. And when you're young, like my kids are young, you don't think about it, but they're always out and about. You know, they play school sports, they're out in monkey bars, but you lose that. I mean, how often do we hear from our, beginners? We say, "Oh, jump rope! I haven't done that since I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Why did you stop?"
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
And they gas out when they're trying to do it.
monkey bars. You know, I used to do monkey bars for hours. Well, why did you stop?
That's the one that always cracks me up too. Is like you're saying, the gassing out.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't jump rope. That's for kids, right?
Yeah.
Why am I going to jump rope? Why
Even
don't you just go
jumping
ahead and do
jacks,
it?
bro. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I love the people that used to be really physically active and then they're not now, and then you say, oh, like, do knock out 20 push-ups. Oh, I can do that shit, whatever. And then they go to do it and they're like, oh my god, like,
It's a
totally
proof, it's a
humbled
telling,
because they're
yeah.
like, man, I'm really.
That's that was the problem that I had. It was like, I mean, even when I got into like lifting, it was like, okay, I'm gonna just focus on lifting because I'd done MMA and I had done all that stuff, so I'd been a lot leaner. I was walking around like 200 pounds, and then due to injuries, outside of fighting, I was skateboarding, broke my thumb, doing all this stupid stuff, and I just kept getting injured, and I was out of training for like a year, but I still ate like I was training 6 hours a day, but I wasn't doing anything. So then I just ballooned up to like 250. And I'm like, okay, well, in my mind, I'm still, 200-pound dude.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm going to go do stuff. So I go out and I start jump roping, jump like twice. And I'm like,
What the heck happened?
yeah. So then it was like, okay, well, let's just keep trying to do this.
Yeah.
And it's, even when I started getting into lifting heavy, there was still that aspect of, in my mind, I'm still that guy who can, run a 19-minute 3-mile and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I can do that, no problem. And then it's like, okay, somebody's like, prove it. Easy. Let me prove it. You start to run. You're like, oh,
Put bricks on my socks.
oh God.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and walk now. Like, okay, guys. Like, I could do it, but I'm just tired.
Yeah.
It's that story that you always hear from everybody of, I used to know a guy who could bench, 5 billion pounds, but
Used to.
yeah.
Used to. Yeah, it's since we're here talking about fitness, it's just it's so different now. I mean, I guess Grant and I come from, we're not that old, 44, I mean, really, but
You guys are kind of old.
we're kind of old, right? But we had still, you bitch.
Go pull the chain again.
I will. I'll do it.
But I grew up where, fortunately enough, my mother stayed at home, and we didn't have a whole lot of money, but she cooked a lot.
Yeah.
Therefore, that was my eating option. It was what she cooked, which you don't have a whole lot of money, you make do what you have.
Right.
So it's pretty healthy because the ingredients were cheap if you want to cook that way. Growing up on a farm too, that's probably the same thing. Healthy food choices, and always doing sports. Nowadays, both parents are usually working, right? And the way that they entertain kids is they give them video games.
Right.
so kids are sitting around being sedentary, and then the parents, they're doing their best to put food on the table. They're both tired when they come home from work, so they don't really cook, so they give them crap. So it's just kind of a constant thing. So it really starts down with the younger folks, and hopefully, I just came back from a funeral where a person was diabetic, and my older sister is now diabetic. So it's so much more important to what we do. There's really no glory in. If I wanted to be a millionaire, this isn't the industry. I'm not doing this for the fame and glory and the dollars. I really enjoy this. And I see a lot of value in it, and I hope that for the people that listening or the people that are watching, that they see that we do this because we love what we do. And again, it's I use myself as an example. Going from very active to inactivity, it's so quick to get into that routine and get out of shape. Or you don't need to be in a stellar fighting shape all the time, but at least do something active. And what you do a lot, at least for our members here, their young children see their parents working out and they mimic that. So that's kind of, and then it's just to be around healthy people. I know we're eating donuts right now, but for the most part, you work out hard and you eat fairly healthy, and it just kind of transfers to the young generation. And that's if that's what I'm here to do, then I'm glad I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the message that I want to send.
Do you guys offer like workouts for kids or
We
younger?
do. I do Tuesdays and Thursdays. I train my kids, and I've just blasted it out there. Whoever wants to join you, we'll be at the gym. And it's just, and then for kids.
And kids love that shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, go pick that up and then move it over there and then go do this. If you give a kid a task, even if it involves work, they're like totally into it. If you tell a kid to just go like run, they're not. Because I've coached like little kid soccer and freshman high school girls and stuff, and if you give them like a goal, they're like into it. They want to like make you happy and stuff. So.
Well, that's exactly it, and if you make it so they don't seem like they're working out.
Yeah, it's like you got to try something.
They're just having fun. I make them do ladder drills, but I give them a basketball afterwards. Like after they do the ladder, I pass them the ball, and then they do a layup. Like they feel like they're playing basketball.
Yeah.
Or they do the ladder drill and they throw me the football. Oh, we're playing catch. It's not, to them, it's not working out. Like I do obstacle course for them. So it's, just get them active.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So, Grant, what contests you got planned for this year still?
2 weeks, actually 14 days away from Boss of Bosses 2 in Mountain View, California.
How you feeling about that?
Ooh, it's going to be a big show, bro. Big show. 160 lifters. Wow. So, but we, it's going to be a good battle. I'm going up against Rob Philippus from Omaha, Nebraska, Big Buddha, and he's he's a big squatter. He squats like 873 raw. Yeah, big bench. So I'm gonna compete in Open and in Masters, and I want to at least break my current state records for Washington in that. It's gonna be hard to beat Buddha because he makes a big jump on the total on the squat and his bench. And he's been working on it in his deadlift. That was his weakest lift, but he's been improving. I saw him pull 715 for a 2 on a deficit.
Wow.
So, he's going to be coming good. Then I'll be down in Vegas at Mr. Olympia helping Dion out with America's Strongest Woman and Masters National Championship. So I'll be down there cheering everybody on and helping referee.
That's in September?
September 18th, 17th, and 18th, I believe, yeah. And then, I don't know, America's Strongest Man is on Halloween this year. I'm not sure if that's going to be able to be fit in, but I would like to do another strongman contest this year. But, we're going to have to see about that. And then I also got invited to Reno in December 6th for USA PL West Coast Regional Championship.
Nice.
So, but I haven't committed yet. We'll see. But it might be cool to finish out the year.
Are you going to do the cage this next year at all?
The cage, yep. That'll be next March. That's always,
Arnold.
Yep. We won't find out. That probably won't get hyped up until January, but the cage is always, you know, the big Super Bowl of lifting. You know,
Right.
It's gonna be epic, and you know, you also got to make sure you do something epic too, because it's a special time. There's a
Well, especially with all the lifters that you have there.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Just
bro.
going to build that environment of.
yeah. If you guys have never been to the cage, you got to go experience, because
Thinking about it for sure.
it's wild, dude.
I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
It's
should.
wild.
We should
There's you can't describe it until
I
you're
know.
actually there.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, dude. And you know, I tell everybody this. It's like there's a huge spotlight on you lifting, and you're either gonna do something so epic that people are gonna remember the rest of the year, or you're gonna fail. And having that fear of failing is what drives me to train hard for the cage, because you don't want to fail in the cage, man.
Yeah.
But when you do some epic shit in the cage, people talk about it for a long time, and it's shown on the videos, it's shown on the DVDs, and you know, you can just pop in the DVD or watch a video that Animal Pack will put up on their website,
Right.
and you just get like all hype, like I want to go
Sorry,
lift.
do
you
you
know?
decide what you get to do in the
Yeah.
cage, or okay?
Yeah, you decide, and you know, but like I said, you got to decide and pick something that's gonna be pretty fucking
Impressive,
epic.
yeah.
You know, so we'll see. Yeah.
And
See
if
what
you guys
happens.
haven't had a chance to watch them at a powerlifting meet, I've been fortunate enough. I went with Grant to Miami, and then
Raw Unity.
Raw Unity in Miami, and then another at the LA Expo.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't had a chance to watch him, go watch. He's a rock star. And he is. I mean, we go walking around, and then people go, "Hey, that's Grant Higa. Can I get an autograph?" And then,
Stop.
yeah, he is. He is. But
You love it.
but just like the most modest
Right.
superstar, he'll take the time to take photos with everyone, sign
That's
anything
the
you want
thing
to sign.
I've always like respected most about you, Grant, is
So it's-
when you see him out there at events and stuff, and it's just people just run up to him.
Yeah.
Just, hey, can I get a picture with you? And he's like,
Hell
of
yeah.
course.
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
I'm just a simple guy, and you know, I started somewhere. Like I told you before, I couldn't even bench 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And, you know, you never forget where you came from, and there's a lot of people out there, online or in person, that look up to you as a role model in weightlifting, and that's you know, that's important to me to give
Yeah.
back. You know,
Awesome.
so
Well, I'm getting the words over there. That,
it's low.
Our director.
So, hey,
our
before-
producer.
So where can people find you guys? Follow you online or anything? Or do you have Instagram? Do you have anything that you want to plug? Events coming up? Anything you want to shout out or anything?
Higa Monster on Instagram. I got no Facebook, none of that other shit. Just keep it simple. Instagram. YouTube channel is GK HIGA, GK Higa. And you can find me here at Interurban Athletics, of course.
Yep, social media is big. InterurbanAthletics.com is our website. We're on IG at interurban_athletics. And I'm Alan Velasco. I'm also on Facebook. And everybody's there. Thank you for coming out once again.
Yeah,
Had
hey,
fun working out with you
before
guys.
you leave, I want to give Brother Jeff a can of Pack
Oh, thanks.
and a
Nice.
can of Flex. We appreciate you guys
Yeah, thank you.
coming out all the way from
Yeah.
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
Like, what, you got off of work at 2
Yeah, 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Insane.
Dude, I mean, we really appreciate
Hey,
you
thank
guys
you.
coming to our gym, bro.
Doors are open
Appreciate it, man.
anytime.
Doors are open,
Thanks.
and yeah, you guys.
It's a really
kicked
nice
ass on the
facility out here. If you
workout.
guys are out here in Kent, make sure you stop by and at least say hi. Just check it out. Everything else, it's a great gym out here. It's a good time. So, thanks.
We're out.
Hey, I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, bro.
All right.